So welcome back, YouTube. Where we last left off, we just finished Faro's secret underground lair and found out that Ted Faro himself, the human from 1,000 years ago, had actually kept himself alive here all along. We didn't get to see him, but CO, his clone, saw him, and apparently it was disgusting enough for him to instantly want to burn the place down and torch it. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get to see him, because I'd like to see like what their idea was of a human that like made themselves immortal for 1,000 years, and like what that would look like over 1,000 years of time. He sounded twisted. He sounded like something from a Resident Evil game or something, like the Tyrant. But now we have everything we need because we just got the Omega clearance, so we can go back and we can get Hephaestus. But first, we have one last tall neck. One last tall neck. I say that, I actually think there's another tall neck we tried to get a long time ago and we couldn't because we didn't have the ability to. But we'll just, we'll pretend like that one never happened. I'm not trying to make this game last longer than it already has, okay? We're just trying to get done. Just trying to finish it. Don't need excuses to extend the playthrough, so I have to play it for another like 20 dozen hours. It's not that I'm not enjoying myself, don't get me wrong. The game's very enjoyable. It's just there's so many other games coming out soon I want to play, including Diablo 4. And I was kind of hoping to have this one done by Diablo 4 so I could play it. I'm starting to think maybe we made the wrong decision by jumping in the water. I don't think there's actually any way to get through from here. This is reminding me a lot of The Last of Us 2, though. That Sunken City chapter. I'm sure they probably have like concept art somewhere, like a Horizon Forbidden West art book that has a concept drawing of what they planned Ted Faro to look like. Look, even the game is implying I'm taking too long to do things. It's like, hey, by the way, you can fast travel anytime. You don't have to walk or swim. You can just like teleport. Babies!
Plasma's wasted against that machine.
I guess he's just far away. I guess that's just perspective.
The hell, that's forbidden.
You look like a baby dinosaur. I was like, oh, there's a little baby. Oh, he is a little smaller than the regular ones.
Choose my death. Some wretched machine. How many machines are there in this city?
It reminded me of the opening scene from Jurassic Park 3 where like the little teeny tiny dinosaurs come up onto the beach and like rip that little girl to shreds.
She's trapped up in this tower. Part of the route she
No.
collapsed.
No.
I should be able to climb that tower.
No.
I could help that trapped soldier.
No.
Go back in here.
No, shut up. Don't tell her. No, shut up. Don't tell her I'm going to help her. I kind of feel bad. I don't know why, but I kind of feel bad for abandoning a collection of ones and zeros in a video game. He sounded so hopeful that I would go in there and save her.
It must have been the Tallneck sending the signal. When talks. Better be careful.
Oh shit, it's not even walking, it's dead. Poor guy.
It's working. Maybe my focus can tell me more.
Doesn't have to tell me jack shit, I just need to wake him back up. Ah, shit. It's never that easy.
Something seems to have knocked the Tallneck down. Maybe the current.
Wake him back up.
Better take a look at the damage.
Back damage sustained, power converters overloaded, emergency ejection triggered. Power converter socket status offline. Impact damage sustained. Power converter is overloaded. Emergency ejection triggered. Okay. I see. What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, got it. I need to replace the little battery components. Oh, Glint Hawk, get the hell out of here. I like how I'm more willing to save an inanimate robot giraffe than I am willing to save a human person that was trapped in that tower that I just happened to be standing at the base of and would have taken me no time to climb up and save her. My priorities are clear. Wait, could I just like shoot him from here? Make it easy on myself? Wait. Nope, apparently not. Okay, well. You know what we have to do? For the tonics!
Those tonic parts must be up there somewhere.
There's one right there. Isn't it?
Talks. Great.
What if I sneak up on it somehow and get up there and just stab him? To it. Well, that clearly wasn't what I was supposed to do. Alright, well, there's that. Can I move this under the water? Can. Maybe that is what I was supposed to do. Maybe I can reach the ladder from here. No, I don't think I can, actually. Nope. Oh, wait. Yes, I can. Just doing it wrong. Shut up, Glint Hawk. Get the hell out of here. Hey. You think you can take me? I just killed Daddy T-Rex, okay? Really think you're gonna be any challenge whatsoever? Daddy T-Rex wasn't a challenge. We just gotta hit his chest one more time. Oh my god! That was a huge explosion. That was kind of cool. Literally knocked me on my ass. How do I get over there? I can't reach. Can't reach. I know what you're thinking. Instead of saving this tall neck, we could literally just teleport to the end of the game and like unlock Hephaestus and see what happens. But I can't leave a tall neck behind. I refuse to. Weren't there two of these things? Yeah, there's another one over here. Somewhere. I see the little blue tracker light from his eyes. Underwater enemies, excuse me, what? Oh, the wave! Oh, it's an underwater enemy called the wave! No, not like this. Don't quite know where I'm supposed to be going. There's something splashing around behind me. This looks promising. There we go. Oh, come on. Stupid. Ah, I grapple to it, dummy. What's zapping? What's zip zapping? Zip zapping. Honestly, kind of confused what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Whew. That'll keep me awake.
Not entirely sure. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Kind of confused. I understand this is probably a puzzle, so it's supposed to be confusing, but I honestly wasn't really expecting to have to do a puzzle right now. I'm kind of not in the mindset for it. I guess we probably have to get to this building, huh? The big old gator. The big old gator. I still find it questionable that we can use smoke bombs underwater, but what do I know? I'm not a physicist. Excuse me? I would love to just climb. Thank you. I don't know if I was actually supposed to go this way. I'm puzzled. I'm confuzzled and confounded. Okay. Making some progress, hopefully. There we go. There we go. Now we can get up top. Nice. Nice. Alligators can't get me up here.
I'll ride that. I wonder if there's another cauldron that could teach me.
I don't care, frankly. Eat it, punk. Where are you? Got him. Got him. That's so cool.
I should go back to the Glintock's nest. Get the part that's in there.
Probably like my favorite finisher of any
That looks
enemy
like
in the
part I'm
game.
looking for. One down, one to go.
Oh, I thought it was gonna make me carry the thing the entire way. I was about to be like, screw this. We got better things to do with our time. Nice. Nice,
This
nice.
is where I found one of the parts missing from the Tolmec.
Mm-hmm.
Another one might be nearby.
Mm-hmm. Wait, was that not it? I don't think that was it. You didn't say anything. How do we get over there? I don't want to fall. End up having to start this whole freaking thing over again. Oh, thank you. It's like you were underwater. Me in real life? Maybe I am. How do you know I'm not?
A second tall neck.
Eat it. Eat it again. Come on, eat it! Make him eat it! He ate it. Oh shit, he's not dead.
That's over with. I should pick up that part now. I'll be taking that.
Yay, we're gonna bring the tall neck back to life! Oh shit.
I should get these back to the tall neck.
My bad. Where is he? There. Ew. The weather is not looking good. Poor tall neck. I'll bring you back to life, little baby. Don't you worry.
This works.
Don't you worry. Gonna wake your sweet little giraffe ass back up. Excuse me? The prompt is only coming up if like you're pixel perfect lined up with it.
Oh, one more to go.
Come on. Stupid prompts. Stupid prompts! My headset's dying, so here in a second I might lose all sound. Keeps warning me. My baby! He's alive! Probably should have, like, got on his head.
Welcome back. I just need to find a way to climb aboard.
No! Stop moving! You're going too fast! Come back! You're going too fast! Gosh dang it. Gotta figure out what his path looks like. Highlight his path. It's not letting me highlight his path. Look at the giant fish in the water, by the way. That's funny. Yeah, we do have to find a way to climb on board. Where do we do that from, do you think? Probably this building right here, huh? He's moving fast, dude. How is he moving so fast in the water? He fast.
I might be able to jump onto that tall neck.
He's zooming. Dang it, why are all the ladders up? Come on! Who's the practical joker? Hey, come here. Come here. Yeah, you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Just jump on him. Just jump on him. Get him. No, I thought I had it. Son of a gun.
I can climb up there.
Shut up. Aloy, what do you think? The metal makes him more buoyant? No idea. I was gonna say, I don't think I'm supposed to be in here. Hopefully I didn't just like soft lock myself.
I should be able to jump onto the tall neck from here.
Just gotta wait for him to come on by. This would be a sweet little rooftop island to just chill on, you know? Headset, I know you're almost dead. It's okay. I'll bring you back to life. Headset, I get it. You're dying. I understand. It's sad.
Made it. Now to climb up to its head.
That'd actually be really weird if, like, when your headset's about to die, like, there's like an AI voice that's like, please, I'm dying. Plug me back in. Before we have to say goodbye.
There we go. Time to override.
You're overrode, biatch. You can see the little red dot on the side, yeah. It's really dying. It's sad. It's a sad fact of life. I think that only leaves one tall neck left to override. Oh, it's not going to let me do a really cool cinematic jump off of this one. I'm kind of interested to know how many skill points we have right now. I haven't looked in forever. 41! Holy shit. We literally just never upgrade anything, and I'm okay with that. Do you think there's a tall neck down here? What's this area? That's hilarious. 41 skill points. Goodness. Game's just too easy if you upgrade. That's my philosophy. There's one there that we did override. That's the one. It's still locked. So that means we don't have to worry about it. There's nothing we can do. So return to base. Return the slab. I'll be honest with you, I didn't really realize we had a base. Is this it? Is this it? What was it looking at? The base. The base. Oh, well. Apparently there's a place on the map called the base. Who knew? I have no idea. My headphones make a beep and the beep gets slower closer to dying. Makes me think of a heart dying. That's kind of sad. Mine just keeps beeping like probably every couple minutes, and then like every couple minutes it will beep 3 times in like slow succession. Then it will go like another couple minutes without beeping at all, and then it will beep again, and just starts the whole cycle over again.
I see you, champion.
Shut up. I'm sick of your stupid rumors that you make up every time I come to town. No. I refuse to listen. Get up. Get up.
A few days
Don't lock
ago,
me
I
into
came
this
across a
horrible
massive
conversation.
bloom of flowers east of the grove. Old Dorica was out there too.
I was trying to save. I wasn't trying to listen to her
escort back
BS
Skull with a
stories.
spear, but she refused. She's an accomplished soldier, to be sure.
To be sure.
But her spear isn't as sharp as it used to be, if you get my meaning.
That's incredibly rude.
I'll keep an eye out for her.
That's a horrible thing to say about somebody behind their back. Truly, this is a rumor. Truly. You've lived up to the word. I think you can't get any more textbook on the definition of a rumor if you tried. Yeah, I was gonna say, why are you making me climb? I clearly wanted to jump. We are here, now we get to talk to Gaia and listen to lore for a half hour. There's a rumor of a person that hit his body crushed by another person's larger head. I should have started spreading that one. Be like, I heard CO was crushed by his own giant head. Yeah. His ego got so big, it crushed him under the weight of it. Let's go downstairs and see if Beta has anything to say. I don't remember how to get there.
From what I'm reading, all the old ones wanted to eat was this stuff called chocolate.
Oh, hello, Alva.
Aloy!
Right to work, I see.
There's just
Buckle in, we've got a half hour of dialogue.
We knew of artificial beings that served the ancestors, but Gaia? Oh, she's amazing! And you, a true reincarnation of an ancestor.
Yo really lost his head over it.
Of course, not like the late CO.
How would they not know about Gaia?
There's more ancestors out there, returned from beyond the stars. Of course, they're trying to kill us, which is not great. And Eric Visser is with them, which is disturbing. And then there's Hephaestus, and...
Okay. How about we take it one step at a time?
You're right. I also owe you an explanation for everything that happened at Landfall.
Explanation first, and apology.
You mentioned Eric Visser? How do you know about him?
The Zenith who tried to kill you? He is known to the Quen as the Protector. Combing through data related to his work led us to breakthroughs related to weapons and military tactics. Knowledge our rulers used to conquer and expand, to become the empire we are today. That's why he's one of our most revered ancestors. But based on your encounter with him, it appears he's even more ruthless than we ever imagined. Yet another distorted interpretation in a legacy.
Well, at least you're piecing together the truth.
If only the overseers back home would do the same.
Beta mentioned other Zeniths. Tilda, Verbena, and Gerard.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about them. Whatever legacy they left behind, the diviners haven't recovered.
Gerard. Such a plain name compared to everybody else. So the thing that's kind of making me confused is, like, how are the other Zeniths alive? If the treatment that they were doing to Ted Faro to make his DNA and genetics and everything, like, stop dying and stop aging, turned him into a mutant over the last 1,000 years. That means that, like, whatever scientific experiment he was doing on himself, these other Zeniths found a better way to do it. And they let themselves be immortal and, like, last thousands of years without having, like, whatever mutation happened to him. So if he would have just held off and waited, he would have been fine. And if he went to space with the other ones like he was supposed to. Oh my lord.
You mentioned the reason you came here was to help your family. Your sister...
Her name is Alika. Our parents are commoners. Peasants, really. When I passed the divination exams, they were so proud. It brought honor to our family and increased rations. Only Alika begged me not to leave for the research academy.
Why? What happens there?
Alika knew
We
that
turn
once
into
you enter,
dorks.
you're not allowed to leave or see anyone, not even your family. Unless you can get special permission and an escort by an overseer.
That sounds harsh.
Like the focuses we keep, diviners are few in number, and the Empire is...
The Empire.
Well, fearful that outsiders will try to steal our knowledge. Last time I was allowed to see my family was just before our voyage here. Because of my position, I was able to get them refuge from the floods within the capital. But if our crops don't recover soon, they'll starve to death along with everyone else.
I promise I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't come to that.
Maybe there is a lot of game left.
The ancestors, is that what your people call the old ones?
Yes and no. The ancestors are the greatest of the old ones. Those whose legacy taught us agriculture, medicine, warfare, leadership, and patronage of the science and arts.
The CEO called Elizabeth Sobek an assistant. What's that about?
There's a
Right.
subreddit
Well,
called Fuck Ted
any
Faro.
old one who has made minor contributions or worked extensively under one of the ancestors is called an assistant. That's how we thought of Sobek, until we met you. Our limited access to data past the late 2040s has obviously misinformed our view of the past.
I'm not Elizabeth Sobek, I'm just a clone, so maybe we were
Said you
completely
owed me
different
an
people.
explanation for what happened in Thebes. I'm listening.
Right. I'll start at the beginning with the CEO.
Please don't.
He was an Imperial, the
Skip
Emperor's
ahead.
nephew, in fact. As such, he sponsored many diviners to search the legacy for anything that might help the tribe, and himself. He took a special interest in anything related to Ted Faro, whom we consider the greatest of the ancestors.
Ted Faro, revered ancestor. That's tough to take.
I know better now, of course. Anyway, the diviners discovered that Faro spent a great deal of time in San Francisco. In fact, many of the most important ancestors did. So the Emperor's nephew convinced him that an expedition across the ocean might solve our most pressing problems. If only we could find the right data in this fabled city. Perhaps we could roll back the floods and storms that threatened our people. The Emperor declared that all the tribe's resources be poured into this.
It's a pretty
Dozens of
in-depth
ships were built,
story that they
scouting
built for
missions
this
were
game.
dispatched, and the Emperor's nephew was named Sio, one who wields the legacy for the good of the Empire.
And in the grand
The
scheme of
living
things, like, it's
embodiment
not
of
a
Ted
bad
Faro.
story. Like, a lot of games have,
Well,
like,
you are.
really
It may
like,
seem strange now, but
half-assed
for a time,
stories
he carried
to
all of
build
our
the
hopes.
gameplay
We
around
really believed he
as
would
an
save
excuse
us.
to make a game,
We
but
had
this
no
game
idea
actually has,
just
like, a
how
decent sci-fi
perilous the
story
journey
attached
would
to it. Like, you could make a TV series out of this, and it would actually be pretty cool to watch.
You said the expedition across the sea was more dangerous than you thought it would be. What happened?
We lost most of our ships to hurricanes, and scores of soldiers perished to hunger and disease. And that was before we even hit the coast. Once we landed, machines ripped our patrols apart, and we struggled to replenish our rations. There were bright spots, to be sure. We found Thebes and the greenhouse, but nothing improved the CEO's mood as his dreams of saving the tribe were slowly dashed. He became more and more obsessed with Thebes and what lay behind its door, and more convinced that the title of CEO was no mere honorific. You heard him, spouting nonsense about Pharaoh's essence and some kind of becoming. We knew these weren't the words of a sane man, but he was quick to put any who spoke out in front of a firing squad.
What a great guy.
Quen are wrong about many things when it comes to the legacy. I can see that now. But what the CO became was a complete perversion of what principled diviners stand for. The pursuit of truth. I'm sorry you had to endure his madness. I'm just glad it's over. For everyone.
The headset has officially finally died.
So, Bohai, your overseer. Will he run things better
Apparently
than CEO?
didn't charge
He
overnight.
won't execute people on a whim, if that's what you mean. But he's hardly a paragon of integrity. I can't tell you how many times he took credit for data in the legacy that I uncovered. The best thing I can say about him is that he can be trusted to always do what's best for him.
Sounds about right. Back at the greenhouse, you spoke of knowledge forbidden to your people.
Diviners are meant to seek out the truth in the legacy, and many Imperials sponsor them in the hopes they'll find something the Empire can put to use, thus gaining favor with the Emperor. But the Board of Overseers claims certain truths are detrimental to the stability of the Empire.
It's like a real-life government.
Discovering one of our revered ancestors ended the world. That is why Diviners are only allowed to access segments of the legacy. Only Overseers can view it all. It ensures that any heretical data can be contained and retrieved before it can spread.
What happens to diviners who break the rules?
I never had the courage to ask.
That means some of the overseers like might know more than we do about like what happens to the Zeniths and like where they're at and how they survived all these years.
I see you've been using your new focus.
It's been fascinating. So much better than the version the Quen have. What would have taken me years to sort through, like the database you helped me recover, with this, I've been able to establish search parameters to speed up
Google
the
Glasses.
process. This could revolutionize how diviners analyze the legacy. That is, whatever part of it the Overseers would actually let us study.
You wanted data, you'll find lots of it here.
A diviner has never had this sort of unsupervised access to archives
No one
such
said
as this.
unsupervised.
And knowing you, I suspect there is much that would normally be forbidden held within them. But I was sent here to help you. I would be remiss to ignore any truth laid before me. Maybe it'll help the Quen find their way back to the path of truth.
You know what I just thought? In hindsight, maybe the reason we were dying so quickly in the temple is because we were wearing those clothes and we didn't have armor on.
I imagine you don't know anyone here that well yet, but they're a good group.
It's funny because one of your friends is, well, another you. Not that you are the same person at all. I mean, you are, as in, you're both genetically Elizabeth Sobek, but even so, you're different.
Yeah, we are.
Talks with their hands a lot. I wonder if there's multiple clones of Ted Faro then too.
I hope everyone's been treating you okay.
Oh, yeah, of course. They've all been extremely welcoming. And they share the knowledge they learn on their focuses with each other freely. It's refreshing. Back home, diviners can only share data with the permission from the overseers.
Sounds restrictive and stifling.
Yeah, you are not wrong.
Like, that's why I wanted to come with you.
I need to get going, but if you need anything,
All I need is to help you succeed in your mission. The plan Gaia told me about, to capture Hephaestus, it will help set things right.
I hope so.
Then I will do whatever I can. I promise.
Why can't they, like, communicate with each other through the headsets? You would think that would be a capability. Need to figure out where we go to find Little Miss Beta. I want to see if she has any new depressing things to say. I don't want to talk to him anymore because I don't want the side quest he's going to give us, whatever it is. I guess we could just ignore it still. Not the way to beta. Nope. Very directionally challenged when it comes to stuff like this in games. I know we've been here like a dozen times, so you would think I'd remember how to find the room I'm looking for. But nope, I can't. Okay, nice. Little trick. Where is she? Where's the depressed one? That door's still closed. The hell? I'm lost. I'm lost in my own home base. Where is she? Figure out how to get there.
And dirt. Don't forget all that dirt we had to bring in.
The exit. What the heck? I want to see what kind of depressive thing she has to say. Search room. That's the multiplayer room. This is the love room. This is the bunkhouse.
There's Gwen stuff in here now. Must be all of us.
Oh, she just moved herself in, huh? Feeling awfully comfortable. Recall that anybody invited you to do that, but okay. This is the chess room. This is the weed room. This is the Steam Deck room. So where the hell is the room to go downstairs? Escalator room. Makes sense, I suppose. I don't know how we passed that room like... No, we were just here. Base is now a never-ending maze, yeah. We did something wrong. We completed the game in the wrong order, and now the base has just trapped us forever. In a maze of our own making. Oh, hell. Like, I legitimately have no idea where she's at. Hello. Excuse me. What? They're not letting me put it in there. Energy cell irretrievable. Okay then. Busted game now. Game's broken. We can't even continue. Can't get any further. Nope, nope, nope. I don't know why we've never been in here, but let's see what's in. What? It's literally just a giant maze. I'm so confused. I think, okay. I think she's just not here.
Thing's trying to kill me.
Because I swear to God, that's where she used to be.
Almost drowned it in beef. Not on purpose.
Oh, I can't open it. What do you have to say, Aaron? Huh?
There
What
she
kind of
is.
genius information you have to share with me?
Time at Thebes.
Maniacs, lava. What's not to like?
I'll remember that next time I go
Maybe she's
back.
upstairs with Gaia.
At least I got what we needed to trap Hephaestus.
Good thing I got my gear ready then.
You look tired.
Ha! You never want to hold back, are you?
Water in the halls for
I've
days
just
and
been
can't
making
find a
sure
way
that I
out.
got everything down for this mission of yours. I wouldn't want to be the usual screw-up out there.
You'll do fine, Aaron.
I need to change my clothes.
Have you spoken with Alva yet?
Yeah, when she's not reading the archives like a giddy kid drinking her first ale. She took to that new focus quick, that's for sure. I gotta say, I'm a little jealous. But I can see why you two hit it off.
I should get going.
As soon as you want us heading out to those cauldrons.
I'll give you the heads up.
I turned on my speakers on my TV, so hopefully it doesn't echo through the mic.
Welcome back.
Good to be back. Have you met our new Quen guest yet?
I could barely keep up as she gave herself a tour of the base. Faro gave her a new focus. Though when he told her she was free to access all the data we had here, she turned so pale, I thought she'd faint
She
on the
peed
spot.
herself a little.
We showed her to the archive room so she could see for herself. She hasn't left the place since.
Sounds like Alva. Read anything interesting lately?
I found out the old ones use leaf infusions like the Utaru do. Tea, they call it. Apparently it helped soothe them. That and some sort of scented wax they used to cleanse their aura. Plus something called bubble baths.
Bubble baths?
Me, I think I'll stick to singing to calm the nerves.
You could sing in the bubble bath.
How are things with everyone?
Slightly quieter. Aaron's been busy scouring data on his newest obsession. Apparently the old ones wrestled machines as some kind of performance. Called it metal versus meat. A must-see battle between steel and flesh, as Aaron likes to put it.
That's
I
a
think we
little
have enough
awkward
of that going around
title.
as it is.
I need to get going.
Right. You've retrieved the Omega clearance. That means we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. I'll make sure my gear's ready.
Oh, that sounds like we're getting to a point of no return. A lot of these open world story-based RPG games have that point where the game's like, are you sure you want to continue without saving? From this point, you can't go back.
From the look on your face, I'd say the mission was a success.
I got Omega clearance. Is everyone ready to head out to Cauldron Gemini?
As soon as you give the word.
I see all of us settled in nicely.
Our new Quen friend? The moment she laid eyes on the archives, she jumped on them like a long leg.
Yeah, that's Alva for you.
That's a long leg for you.
Once Gaia is back up and running, I expect you to put all your training to good use.
The seeds have been planted. All they need is a chance to bloom. What? I thought that was pretty good. Zoe liked it.
I'm glad you and Zoe found each other.
Don't forget, You're to blame for that.
Kept you off my back, so I'm perfectly
Now that I have
perfectly
Omega
happy with
clearance, we can grab Hephaestus and finally have the advantage over the Zeniths.
Can't wait to see their faces as they stare down a bunch of charging thunderjaws.
Better them than us, for once.
it. Yeah, I don't know if I could handle more
should
than one of
go
those
get
at a
this together.
time.
Of course. Let us know when we're needed.
One was hard enough, honestly. Hey, at least the dialogue lore isn't like taking an hour to get through this time. I kind of feel like I want to try one more time to find out where she's at, because I feel like I'm missing something. Like I'm overlooking something. Maybe she's up here though. Let's take a look.
Welcome back.
Hold on. We gotta check one more time. I feel like I'm missing a room. Cause like the last time we talked to her, wasn't she like down in a basement someplace like near a power station or something? You haven't seen that.
I know.
Where the hell is it?
But if there was two of me walking, come on, be serious.
Is that why this door's locked? Is she in here? I'm confused. I mean, guess we're not really missing anything by not talking to her, but I just kind of wanted to see if she was going to say something hilariously depressing again.
Slowly.
I remember. Well, me neither. So game, hopefully you didn't have anything important for her to share with us, because we're going to ignore it.
Hello again, Aloy.
Hello again, Gaia. Did you like my impression of you, Gaia? Was it a good one? Hello again, Gaia.
Aloy, I know your experience in Thebes was unsettling, but we have a new problem.
Did something go wrong with Beta and the rig? Will we be able to transport you to Gemini?
The rig is complete. The problem is Hephaestus.
If you Beta left for greener pastures
It has
or
accelerated
pastors.
its proliferation throughout the Cauldron network, increasing its power.
But with your sub-functions restored, we can still succeed, right?
Correct. But the net effect is that absorbing Hephaestus will take longer than previously calculated.
How long?
Even with Omega clearance, my current estimate is that the merge will take
Well, that's not so bad.
35 hours.
And each
She said
hour
like 3
increases the
weeks.
risk of detection by the Zeniths.
What if it was 35 real life hours?
2 cores.
And you had to come back to the game 2 days
2
later?
overrides. What if the merge were carried out by 2 clones of Elizabeth Sobek, both armed with Omega clearance? How long then? Half the time?
Hephaestus would be unprepared for the simultaneous labor of 2 operators, in addition to obvious synergetic efficiencies. Calculating. It would reduce the merge time to approximately 4.5 hours.
Damn.
Okay. Varl, it looks like we're gonna need Beta at Gemini. Do you think you can convince her?
I don't know, but I'll try.
What about our diversion? Are the pulse
How would you get
generators
2
ready?
copies of the
Only
Omega
the
clearance
final
though?
test remains. I am confident that if fired in proximity to other cauldrons, the pulses will mask our activities at Gemini from the Zeniths.
Good. As long as Aaron can operate one without shooting himself in the face.
Aloy, you better get down here. Beta's in bad shape.
Okay.
She's saying really depressing things that are kind of making me laugh in a really sick and twisted way. Maybe that's why it wasn't allowing us in the door. For lore reasons. Yeah, okay.
Aloy. I tried, but it's impossible. I don't think anything will convince her to go.
We don't have a choice.
Good luck.
Beta, you have to come with us. It's the only way. It's one mission. The most important one. We need you. Tell me why you won't go. What if they take me back? Alone, in a cell again. Their slave. Forever.
Not forever. It'll be at worst like 1,000 years. Didn't you see? Well, you weren't there, but let me tell you what happened to Ted Faro. I'll protect you. I always go with the good guy dialogue choice. I wonder if this changes the end of the game depending on which one you choose.
Laurel and I will be at Gemini too. I'll
Probably
protect
not.
you. As soon as we get Hephaestus,
Others she
we'll
can
come
make
straight
thousands
back
of
here. The
depressed
Zeniths
that
aren't going to find
make her
us.
willing to go.
You don't have to be afraid.
Make all of future generations
No.
depressed.
You can't protect
Doesn't that
me.
sound
Nothing
fun?
can protect me from them.
Oh shit, I chose the wrong choice.
I told you from the beginning we'll never beat them. It's hopeless. Beta. Leave me alone! You don't understand!
I still didn't change my clothes. I should probably do that.
You're right. I don't understand. We have the same genes, the same mind, the same heart. So why can't you find the strength to do what has to be done? Like Elizabeth would. Don't you think I've thought about that? I don't know what piece of Elizabeth I'm missing. I don't know what you have that I don't.
You think she's piping sad emo
looked through
music
all
through
the
her
data from your
Bluetooth device
focus.
all day long?
You were raised as an outcast, shunned and isolated just like
listening
me, so
to
what's
Evanescence.
the difference? What's my defect?
Right now, it's just blaring in her ear. Bring me to life. My dad.
Beta. You don't have a defect. Beta. Look, it's not a piece of Elizabeth.
Never had a dad.
The difference is, I had him. Frost. He raised you, trained you, but he was never warm or loving. The day he died, the day he gave you that charm, he was going to abandon you. He wanted me to embrace the tribe. But then he gave his life for mine. He loved me in his own way. And that was enough.
He just needs love.
It was like having the strength that was always there. It's still there. Even now I hear him in my head when things get bad.
Oh, those are just the audio logs.
When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win.
Roast. A cool callback to the first game.
You don't have to go on the mission. We'll find another way. I'll go. You said you'd try to protect me. I believe you.
I feel like during the cutscenes they really overdo the
One thing. Yes.
the freckles on their face. Looks like a
Think it was
blemish.
bad? If the Zeniths find us, I don't want to be their slave again. Do you understand?
I think they got a sunburn.
Okay. Promise? I promise.
That would actually be kind of a badass, like, cinematic ending.
Use as much time as you can give me.
They
to
like
study
start
up on
dragging
knowledge.
Beta
To
away
make
in
it
like
as efficient
slow
as
motion. Aloy has to like draw arrow and shoot Beta in the head. And they're just like dragging a slumped over lifeless body.
I'll be ready when you are. I swear.
I know that's probably not going to happen, but I think that would make for an interesting ending. Be badass.
Aloy, whenever you're ready.
See, Gaia can
speak
talk to me through the
and I'll
Bluetooth.
ask the others to make final preparations for the mission.
Final preparations for the mission whenever you're ready. This must be that point of no return I was talking about.
Pizza? Apparently it tastes worse the longer it takes to be delivered.
Oh wait, is there more I can talk to her about?
It's just flat bread.
Doesn't look like it.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure you're okay. I am. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
Regale me with all of your depressing stories and thoughts.
Alva's joined us. Have you two had a chance to talk? She told me she's not allowed to access a lot of the data her people have. Similar to the restrictions I had in my training interface. I told her that if we succeed at Gemini, then once we return, I'll help her search for more ways to help her family. Even though Gaia will fix the biosphere, it'll take time for farmlands to fully recover. So, I want to help speed things up. How so? Bioengineering of more resilient plant strains, novel crop production methods, equipment upgrades. Something that might help in the short term. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. So when you talk to the others, are you calling them over the focus? No, they'll come down here to visit.
But they can talk through the Bluetooth, why don't they?
He's funny, but loud. I wish I could show him the media portal and the data channel. I think he would like the sports hollows. There was one where two people would criticize each other before wrestling to see who was stronger. It was bizarre and violent, but I think Aaron would enjoy it.
Encrypted transmission.
Yeah, you're
True,
right.
true.
I bet he would.
I just feel like that would have been a gameplay mechanic most games would have put into an RPG, like having like that Navi kind of character that's like always talking to you through the Bluetooth, being like, oh, this is what you should do next.
So how goes studying up on the merge? Guy and I have added a function that will display a holographic interface to visualize the data stream from Hephaestus. It should make expunging its malicious code a little more efficient. That's great. Whatever we can do to cut down the merge time is going to increase our chance of success. Good work.
It almost looks like
they
they...
other ways to speed up the process. But whenever you're ready, I am too.
It almost looks like it's building up to an ending that could have played out like Mass Effect. And if you haven't played Mass Effect, the way the endings worked in both of those games is depending on how good of a relationship you have with each one of the NPCs in your crew throughout the game, the ending would change. So like in the first Mass Effect, if you had a really good relationship with certain characters in the game, they would survive the last fight. And if you didn't have a good enough relationship with other characters, they wouldn't survive into the second game. And like the way they're talking in some of these dialogue cutscenes, it almost looks like they had that idea in mind at one point, and like they just didn't put it in the game. Or maybe they did, and maybe it's going to happen that way, I don't know. Oh, so much new lore.
You said you spent years studying in a training interface. Was this archive you mentioned part of that? But only the parts I was permitted to access. Aristotle and Aspasia, the avatars of the archive, would assign me learning modules and evaluate my progress. Wait, those names. They were designed to be the
Wait, we already
virtual
heard
guides
this.
for the Apollo database. Before Ted Faro purged it. The Zeniths have a copy. So it still exists. Only what was deemed pertinent to the mission. If I requested information outside of my parameter, to have all that knowledge. A little.
Skippy. Zenith Colony. Apparently we haven't heard this.
You said the Zenith's colony in the Sirius system was destroyed. What happened? All I was ever told was that a natural disaster forced them to leave Sirius. I've speculated that it was an extrasolar object or a cataclysmic seismic event. Or maybe even an abnormally violent coronal mass ejection from Sirius A.
Yeah,
Did
one of
Zeus
those.
tell you any details? Something that might narrow it down? They said the only thing that mattered was that they survived. First Earth, 1,000 years ago, and then Sirius. Guess they survived old age too.
So they are, yeah, I was gonna say they are the original people then from 1,000 years ago. That's interesting.
So you know about the extinction signal? It was speculation, but the only logical conclusion why Gaia suddenly self-destructed after operating efficiently for centuries. Gaia would have only undertaken such a desperate course of action if it had detected a threat to life on Earth that was more dangerous than ceasing function altogether. I should have realized that she would also order the recreation of Elizabeth Sobek to rebuild her. Her plan almost failed. If I hadn't stumbled upon a focus as a kid, things would have been a lot different.
Yeah, it is true. She did just kind of like randomly stumble into a collapsed cave that had the
I'll be going
focus
now.
in it.
Okay. I'll be right here.
Alright. She didn't have any ridiculously, hilariously depressing things to say this time. We cheered her up too much. We did too good of a job of lifting her spirits.
I just think she talks a lot.
You would too, if you knew.
Hey, I thought I'd check in before leaving for Gemini.
Are you sure we shouldn't be checking up on you? Whatever went on between you and Beta sounded intense. Not that I'm judging. Forge knows all the screws flew loose every time Mercer and I fought.
I think we'll be fine from now on.
He's like, and
I'm
did
glad-
my ears deceive me, or did it sound like you guys had a pillow fight down there? No? No? Maybe? Yes? No? Give me some hints? Huh?
After we get Hephaestus, we'll be taking the fight to the Zeniths. So, no more reading.
It wasn't that bad. Not really. Besides, going through all that data helped me realize something. You know, the soldiers, the ones that fought the Faro machines so Gaia could be built, they were fighting a battle that couldn't be won. Not with all the weapons in the world. I think most of them realized that, whether anyone said it or not. They still did it, though. They bought time for all the eggheads working to save the future.
Eggheads.
Our future. As long as I can do that for you, I'll consider myself a success.
Thank you, Erend. I'm glad you're with me.
Okay, enough. I'm gonna get emotional.
I will say, out of all the NPCs in both games, I think Aaron's my favorite by far.
Anybody take you up on that ale you brought yet?
Zoe can't stand the smell of it. I tried Alva, but I don't think she knows what taking a break means. And I'm not putting Varl anywhere near that stuff after that victory party in Meridian.
What about Catalo?
Now there's a man that can hold his liquor. Pretty sure he downed half a keg. We had a good chat, I think.
I should go.
Farewell, my friend.
Same here. I got a date with a cauldron to
I want the
prepare
juicy
for.
details. I see you changed your clothes since then. Did she knock your armor off of you? Did she subtly convince you to take it off because it was too hot down there in the basement? Let me know all the details. I'm yearning to know.
Aloy, everything okay with you and Beta? It sounded like you guys had a, lively conversation.
We just had a lot to talk about.
Does this mean she's coming with us to Gemini?
It does. I hope you're ready to rein in the most stubborn AI of all time.
That's what all this was for, wasn't it?
Hephaestus won't go down quietly.
Hephaestus is just a program that's lost its way. We are fighting for our survival. I can always call upon the goddess if you're nervous.
Funny.
Like, look, don't push your newfound religion on me, all right?
You were right, you know. About keeping Rost's memories buried. I guess part of me thought he was holding me back. Because he wanted me to be a Nora. But the truth is, he gave me a lot. And I took him for granted.
He was a good man. He raised you well.
I hope firing off those pulse generators will be enough to distract the Zeniths.
It'll work. It has to.
Always optimistic, huh?
Nah, just stubborn. It's a good quality to have when dealing with you.
Yeah, right.
I'm about to slap the piss out of you.
Any last findings you want to share before leaving?
Not really. Though I've reached a decision.
Oh?
When we put Gaia together, I want to return to the Nora. Spread what I've learned.
You think they'll listen to you?
In time, I believe so.
If anyone can make it happen, it's you, Varl.
Those naysayers. That's the reason in the first game she was rejected from the Nora tribe, is because she was so dependent and interested in the technology. They said it was pretty much heresy.
What will you and Zoe do if you go back to the Embrace?
I hope she'll come with me. At least for a while. And I'll go with her to Plainsong too. She'll probably want to talk to her people about all this as well. We'll figure it out.
I know you will. How does everyone seem to you?
Anxious, but ready. I heard Katalo ask for Alva's help with his pulse generator. And I know he's been helping her with a few fighting techniques, just in case.
I hope they aren't needed.
Like I said, just in case.
He's been helping her with fighting techniques. Alva's a
I'm
badass,
glad you're
dude.
coming with me, Varl.
Sure there's no urge to run off alone in there somewhere?
No more running.
She immediately leaves them all behind. I had them all fooled.
Hey, we'll be going after Hephaestus soon. You good with the plan?
I've already got the location of my assigned cauldron.
Good.
I heard you and Beta had a talk.
News travels fast.
It wasn't exactly a quiet conversation.
There were just things that needed to be said.
A healthy crop to those who clear the weeds between them, as the Utaru say.
Okay, your little fancy Utaru sayings, they're getting old, alright? Why don't you just talk plainly like the rest of us? Alright, doesn't it always have to be poetry and romanticism?
You look like you have something on your mind.
We're going to war soon. And war is something I promised myself I'd left behind in the Red Raids. But the more of your data I go through, every voice I hear, every word I read from our ancient past, it makes me realize just how much life was given so that ours could flourish. Fighting for that gift, it's our responsibility. If we fail, it was all for naught.
Helps to know you're not
But
alone.
not.
For a moment there, you sounded like Varl.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They're all having their little emotional
I should go.
connections before the
As soon as you
last
intend
moment.
to leave for Gemini,
You'll hear about it.
I want to go talk to this dude to see if he has anything left to say, but we got to get through this little side quest first. Oh no, that's her. Ah! Why do you have a side
Hope I'm
quest
not
now? God dang it.
interrupting.
Not at
Everybody's
all.
trying to get me to do
I
shit.
was just studying the pulse generator schematics. The ones Gaia and Beta built. The craftsmanship is remarkable. Is everything all right?
How can you even read that display?
Sounded like there was an
Just looks like a bunch of
issue
blinking
with
neon
Beta
lights.
and the mission.
Not anymore. We just needed to talk some things through.
To understand one another is to embrace truth.
You too with the poetic crap?
Oh, and if you have a moment,
I have a
there's
moment.
something I could use your help.
Sorry. Sorry about your problems.
Must be strange to think that some of the ancestors your tribe reveres are still alive. And here on Earth, right now.
Yeah, it is. Part of me is curious to know
What have they
who
been doing
else
this entire
besides
time?
Visser might be among them. Maybe Nikita Arand? We call her the Spark.
Guilty
The
spark.
legacy tells us she brought unlimited energy to the old ones. Or Sung Jiao, whom we call the Healer. It is said she found new ways to extend the ancestors' lifespans. But my curiosity fades when I think of how different our view of Visser was compared to the reality that you experienced. Perhaps it is better not to know.
I would assume all of them are still there if these people have been surviving 1,000 years.
Any more data catch your eye?
All of it? I have so much to study up on. Years, actually. I'm particularly interested in the Odyssey. We knew the
A
ancestors
game
had
called
made it to the
Assassin's
moon.
Creed?
In fact, we theorized some of them had settled on it. But Sirius is way farther than that. And we thought journeying across the ocean would be the feat of a lifetime. The sheer calculations needed for space travel, it's overwhelming to think about.
Even so, the Quen are way ahead of other tribes when it comes to understanding this stuff. Where I grew up, everyone thought that stars were sparks that rose from a fire lit by the goddess to guide us through the night.
I don't think I could have a friend like Alva. I feel like she's too chipper. I feel like I'd get annoyed by the toxic positivity.
Have you spoken with Zoe at all?
She's the exact opposite of Beta.
But I did
Alva,
hear her singing
Beta.
Faro not too long ago. I don't think they noticed. Zoe seemed so free when she did it. Like every emotion she had was taking flight in song. And she looked happier because of it. I felt so dull and nervous in comparison.
You should ask Zoe to teach you sometime. About Utaru music.
And her teeth are too perfect. What are you hiding behind those perfect teeth?
If you need anything...
And the
before setting
fake
up the
positivity.
You have nothing to worry about. Gaia's explained your plan in detail, as expected from such an efficient AI. I've even received some very, succinct combat advice
And the
from Kotalo.
pixie haircut.
You know, in case the Zeniths show up.
What kind of advice?
He, told me to run.
For now. We'll even the odds soon enough.
Who's even doing dentistry work during these times?
I should go. Make sure you talk
Question.
to Gaia if you have any questions about the pulse generators.
May your path lead to truth.
Kind of what makes me always wonder, like when we find the skulls or like the remains of humans from like thousands of years ago, and like their teeth are completely intact. Like, how are they keeping their teeth so well? Where's the dude at?
We just need to find the right strategy.
Now that I know, might actually have some other things to say. We might catch up on his dialogue before we start the last mission.
Aloy.
We're probably way behind though, so I'm sure he has
Had
shit ton of stuff to
an
say.
issue with Beta. It's better now, though.
I'm not surprised.
I almost called you on our Bluetooth to ask you
Why
for
not?
a
I
hand.
once knew a warrior who discovered he had a brother late in life. It was deeply uncomfortable for him.
Did he ever get over it?
In time. But not before the two siblings nearly killed each other in a single combat challenge.
Ah. Well, at least I avoided that.
There is something I've been meaning to discuss with you. It's
Not doing your companion
personal.
quest.
If you have a
This is getting
moment to
too much
spare.
like Mass Effect, and I refuse to do it.
Found anything interesting during your training?
Gaia told me where to find data on how wars were waged in the old world. I knew the Ten fought against machines, much as we do now, but it seems they were among the last of their kind. Later, machines battled other machines on behalf of greedy leaders, as they vied for lands and spoils. At least the Tenakth have the courage to put their lives on the line when conflicts arise.
There is nobility in that. But maybe we just need fewer conflicts in the first place.
Yes,
Eh.
of course. Hekaro would have it so as well.
You would think the guy who lost his arm in conflict would be agreeable to last
How are
conflicts.
your studies going?
I wanted to learn more about the world of the Old Ones.
And?
I looked up this Faro Gaia said you went looking for, and learned about the plague of machines he unleashed. To think that the ancient world was wiped out by a mistake.
Someone
A
moved a
single
decimal point.
miscalculation. There is no glory or honor in such a fate. Only hubris and pointless death.
Hubris,
That
nice
sums
word.
up.
SAT word.
Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
What do Tenakth do to relax? You know, to take a break from training?
We
Do
play
not
strike.
relax.
Your Oseram friend, Erend, is surprisingly good at it, although he has yet to beat me. It helps one think strategically, hones the mind for tactics.
Somehow that still sounds like training.
It's like them playing video games before they go into battle.
Have you spoken with Alva?
The Quen is peculiar. Nothing like a Tenakth. Her mind is sharp, that much is certain. But it's hard to imagine her surviving in the wilds.
Trust me, she's tougher than she looks.
I will take your word for it.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best.
Hey, actually, I didn't have that much to catch up on.
I should go get ready.
I await your orders.
Where do we get changed? Where do we change our clothes in this place? Hey. Ever since the expedition landed and we encountered barbarians, sorry, Tenakth, a question has been gnawing at me. Given the massive distance between here and the Great Delta, how is it possible that we all speak the same language? I mean, the legacy tells us that the ancestors have many languages. How did it all get reduced to one? For questions like these, it's handy to have a friendly superintelligence around. I love Gaia. She's so nice and patient, even when I can't stop talking and bombard her with overlapping queries. While she can't explain everything I ask her, for this one she had the answer. Apparently the Zero Dawn system was designed to release people into the world as young adults after being educated via the Apollo database. I sure wish I could have gone to that school. Language instruction was supposed to be a big part of the coursework. Students were to be encouraged to learn many languages, thus keeping alive the vibrant linguistics of the old world. But when Ted Faro erased Apollo, he makes me so mad. Zero Dawn reverted to its default language, and that's all the kids in the Cradle facilities ever got. So our ancestors, I mean our tribal ones, not the legacy ones, all started with the same speech and never got to learn any more. Mystery solved. Yet another rotten, completely unfair thing that shithead, beg my pardon, did to the world. That's interesting. So they even went as far as to like explain why all of these different tribes have the same language. Very well thought out and thorough story. Wait, can I just like change? This is how infrequently we go into the menu. I can't remember how to change my armor. Outfit. We haven't found any other outfits. Oh no, you have to build them, that's right. Of course we haven't gotten any more because we never build anything. My favorite one. Back with me again.
Does sound fun though.
I'll start the cutscene for the last... I'm guessing this is the cutscene that's going to start the last quest of the game. But then we'll probably end it for tonight. And hopefully that means we're almost done. Maybe one more weekend of streams we'll have this thing nipped in the bud.
Aloy, I'm glad you've returned.
Medium stamina potion, that's new.
Hello, Aloy.
So, I guess you heard all that below.
Was it a pillow fight?
Yes. I am continuously impressed by the complexity of human relationships. Despite the unpleasant circumstances that led to your quarrel, I am pleased to see you have both found an agreeable resolution.
Well, two heads are better than one, right?
Yes, I believe so. Are you ready to depart for Cauldron Gemini? Or we can continue our conversation, if you like.
He's like, just be warned, this is the point of no return. If you go to Cauldron Gemini, you can't go back to the open world until you finish it. And Aloy's like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Nope. Ooh, we could ask her about Zenith immortality.
The extinction signal didn't just wake Hades. It made every subordinate function self-aware. Why?
I have wondered this myself. So far as I can tell, Hades was the sole target, and the partial sentience imparted to other subordinate functions was incidental.
A signal that precise would require thorough knowledge of the system. How could the Zeniths know that?
From the records on your focus, it appears Far Zenith had an informant during the development of Zero Dawn.
Hank Shaw. He was supposed to steal a copy of the system for Far Zenith, but Elizabeth and Travis Tate caught him first.
Yes. It is likely Far Zenith acquired knowledge on the system's design through him, despite his failure.
Or Ted Faro was involved somehow.
So from what Beta told me, I guess we can assume the Zenith's technology is powerful in all sorts of ways, right?
Yes. As your encounters with them amply demonstrate, they appear to make extensive use of robotic servitors. Further, they seem to be equipped with some kind of protective energy field that shields them from harm.
They seemed indestructible, but that weapon the rebels used stripped their shield somehow.
Throughout history, every defensive technology has eventually been defeated by an offensive counterpart. While we lack the anti-shielding weapon, were I to absorb Hephaestus and utilize it to create a large force of combat machines...
Yeah, an army of
no shielding
T-Rexes.
would withstand such an assault indefinitely.
So there's hope.
Always.
That would be an awesome end cutscene if there was just like an army of those T-Rex robots, like 20 of them. With a bunch of plessies too.
So the Zeniths are the same people who left
Taken
Earth.
by land and sea.
Physically immortal. How'd they figure it out?
From what we know of Far Zenith, it is plausible that prominent geneticists and engineers were offered a place aboard the Odyssey in exchange for their expertise.
Uh-huh.
Given enough time, technology, and resources, any challenge can be overcome.
I believe that.
Like how Minerva eventually generated the deactivation codes for the Faro Plague.
Exactly.
Ted was trying to make himself immortal. Didn't end well for him.
For every success, there are many more failed attempts. Some more grotesque than others.
I'm actually a very strong believer of the fact that, like, with enough time, anything can be figured out. And I'm also a very firm believer that if you took all of, like, the top brains of our generation right now, like, let's say you get, like, the leader of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, you know, Bill Gates, like all of the most genius people of our generation together in a room together, and said, hey, you need to focus on how to make completely electric vehicles within the next 2 years. I bet you it would be done. Like, I bet you it would not even take half that time, as a matter of fact. It's just nobody ever sits them down and says, like, you need to focus on this one conglomerate approach to, like, a problem that we have in the world. And, like, figure it out and have a solution for it. They're all off doing their own separate, like, business ideas that they have independently of one another. Whereas if they all got in a room together, like, any world problem could be solved, like, in very short time, in my opinion.
Gerard, Eric, Tilda, Verbena. Beta said they were some of the most powerful people on Earth. I think Elizabeth knew one of them. Tilda. Did she ever mention her to you?
No. Elizabeth often spoke of her work, or told stories of her mother and her childhood. If she knew this Tilda, she did not disclose it with me. What we can conclude from your and Beta's experiences is that the Zeniths are ruthless in pursuit of their goal. To protect life on Earth, they must be stopped.
Yep, sounds about right. Have any questions about subordinate functions?
Gaia? What was Elizabeth like?
She was a raging
Her
bitch.
presence is interwoven with my memories. The moment I came online, she was there. We exchanged greetings, names, then set to our task. It was the first of many conversations. I enjoyed being in her company, listening to her stories. She was my creator, my guide.
Your friend.
Yes. When I reviewed the data on your focus, I was saddened to learn of her fate, though I am glad she made it home. I
The
deeply
bright
wish
cloak
she
you're
did
wearing.
not have to be alone.
She was okay with that. She gave all of herself. Did all that she could. Thanks, Gaia.
What if there was a really weird plot twist towards the end of the game where you find out that all of the data points that mention Ted Faro and all of the evil things he did, that is actually Elizabeth Sobek. And all of the things that mention Elizabeth Sobek's name was what Ted Faro did. But as her last act before she died, she went back and had Gaia edit all of the data points that have ever been created by humanity and swap their names around. Genius. Genius.
So I, found Thebes. What do you think Ted would have done if his life extension treatments had worked?
It seems he convinced himself it was his duty to guide future humans. Given the tribal nature of new humans, and his ability to use Omega clearance on the terraforming system, I imagine he would have convinced one or more tribes to worship him as their patriarchal deity.
Okay. Yep, glad that didn't happen.
Ted Faro the God.
Aside from Gaia Prime and Thebes, there was one other underground facility that was sealed before the Pharaoh Plague reached it. Elysium. The place where Zero Dawn's staff and their families went to live out their lives. Do you know what happened to it?
Elysium was designed to provide life support for 100 years. My data indicates the facility went offline well before then.
Did the Pharaoh Plague find them?
Unknown. My connection to the facility was abruptly severed.
Doesn't mean people died, it just means that the connection to the database was severed. They could still be down there
So what happened
alive.
to this place while we're at Gemini?
All systems
That's
within
100
this
years,
facility will continue to operate. As Minerva will no longer be masking this location, the facility will be exposed to detection. Though without my presence, it is unlikely to attract attention.
Let's hope so.
Alright, I think that leaves us with...
So our plan to capture Hephaestus. Let's go over it again.
As you wish.
No, we already
Thanks
know
to
all this.
Beta's test, we now know that Hephaestus will not respond to your
Which is why I got Ted Faro's Omega clearance.
correct. While you were gone, Beta constructed the
Oh, there's some
transport
new
rig
stuff.
and pulse generators. When we get to Gemini, I will need to be installed on one of the facility's cores. The second core is for Hephaestus. Using Omega clearance will allow you to trap it.
And then you'll be able to absorb it.
Not quite. You will need to manually remove Hephaestus's malicious code before the merge.
How long will that take?
Because the work will be split between you and Beta.
I like how it
it'll take
updated the dialogue to have
approximately
the new
4.5
information.
hours.
And during that time, the others will create a distraction for us using the pulse generators, right?
Correct. They will each take position at a cauldron door and fire off their device. The energy surge should mask our activities until the merge is complete.
And then we'll have everything we need to defeat the Zeniths. Sounds like a plan.
Bring it in. Go team!
How's all of us settling in?
As soon as she arrived, Alva was eager to study the data in the archive.
Last 90 minutes has been dialogue, I know. Like, the further into the game we get, the more talking there is.
Devoted to keeping living spaces neat and orderly. I informed her that once I am empowered with the abilities of Hephaestus, I may be able to design.
That's what
such
we were talking
machines.
about last night. It's like they replaced what most games do, and instead of having an hour-and-a-half long cutscene, they do it with dialogue. I'd actually prefer just having the cutscene, personally.
When I set out to find a way to bring you back, I never thought we'd be here, like this. Among friends.
They have all come a long way with their improvised.
Like, I feel like the only reason they did it as dialogue is so you feel like you have some interaction in between the 90 minutes of information just by clicking the button.
The biosphere has been stabilized.
Yeah, that's not such a bad idea. As long as you're the one running the lessons. So, about Beta. I never really saw the difference between us until now. She's been through so much. Completely alone.
She wasn't alone, she was just a slave. I mean, it's not much better, but she had other people.
Yet equally remarkable. I like to think of you as two miracles, born of Elizabeth Sobek.
3, then. Let's not forget about you, Gaia.
Would rather sit and watch it, to be honest. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like, I'd rather just this be like a big, long 2-hour cutscene before the last quest starts.
Okay, people. It's time to head out.
I'll get everyone together.
Oh, it's my army. The horse that I've hardly used in the entire playthrough of the game. I really do make things a lot harder for myself than they need to be. Never upgrade anything. Never build more armor or craft more weapons. Never use the horse. I will say at this point, I really don't have very high interest in playing the DLC of this when we're done. I'd say, like, in history, I've never really played DLC for any game, and I'd say the only game that's really making me even consider buying the DLC for it when it comes out is Elden Ring. Just because it's actually going to continue the story from the main game.
All right, connections in place.
I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Up.
Beta, Aloy, I am fully installed on this core and ready to connect to the core.
And I guess technically that's what every DLC does, is extend the story, but I'm more interested in Elden Ring's story than what happens at the end of the credits of this.
Errand, everyone, fire your pulses and sound off.
Because the Elden Ring DLC sounds like it actually...
It's blinking. Did I do it right?
Continuing the story of Elden Ring and adds more to the lore and answers unanswered questions that were left.
Radio silence until
Whereas a lot of DLC for games, it always feels like it's just like, oh, this is just an excuse to get more money from you and extend more gameplay in the game world. It doesn't actually add anything to like the initial story from the game. It just adds extra story on top, if that makes any sense.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating
Yeah, it's not
Omega
just extra
clearance.
content. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Elizabeth Sobek, Alpha Prime, activating Omega clearance.
Clearance confirmed. Initiating containment.
Oh shit, maybe this is the hour-long cutscene and we just started it. We're gonna have to sit through the whole thing.
Lock it down!
Terminating external connections.
It's working. It's got nowhere to go.
Oh shit, he's got a contingency plan. We'd never planned for this.
Detected. Attempting to compensate.
It's cracked.
Look!
Autonomous defenses. Neutralize.
That means machines are on their way. Get ready.
Here they come.
Faro, stay here. Protect Beta.
All right. I don't know how much. I'm going to guess this is the end of the game at this point. So what we'll do is we'll leave it here. We'll pick it back up maybe sometime later this week. I'll have to see what my evenings look like. Maybe we can try and knock it out before next weekend. So when Diablo 4 comes out, I can start playing that. But for now, it's an interesting lore-filled night. Like an hour and a half of freaking dialogue and lore and everything else. It's interesting. Like, I like what they're doing with the sci-fi story and like the background of where these people came from, how they survived 1,000 years and everything. But the one big kind of thing that's been hovering over my head about this game since we started it is I really don't feel like it's extended the story from the first game at all. It's just going back and explaining everything that led up to the first game happening. And it's kind of disappointing. So I'm like, I don't feel, in the same vein of why I don't play DLC for games, I don't feel like this game has really added to the story from the first game. Like their story, their current day time story with Aloy and all of them. It just added more story content for the before times. And it's been kind of disappointing. So I'm like, this has changed nothing. Like nothing has changed since the first game. Like what is the point of playing this? It's a prequel sequel. Yeah, it almost is. Like it's a prequel that happens in the future, which is an interesting way of doing things. I don't know if very many other instances that have done that in the past, but unless this last section of the game has like some big twist and actually changes their world in modern day, I'm actually going to be leaving this game with a lot of disappointment because I feel like you could have just completely skipped this game and not missed anything after playing the first one. But we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll change my mind between now and the end. But for now, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week if I don't see you until next weekend. And if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. Thanks for being here, Mr. Board Games, and thanks for checking us out on YouTube later if you do. And I will catch you guys next time. See ya.